Hello, and welcome to week 50 in my Stitch Circle Show challenge. And if you just have hit this video and you think, what are she talking about? Find the playlist. There's a link below here under the little word more or in the description box, and find the playlist there. And in week 1, I will explain everything about what this Dogma rule challenge is about. But shortly, every week for this year, I give a set of simple Dogma rules for hand stitching, and you can follow along if you like. And if you want to follow along and you will do the challenge, there is also a link below here for a Facebook group you can apply if you want to do the challenge. There also is a link for making a cover, but that isn't a must to make a cover. You can do with your small samples whatever you want to do. You could put them in a box, sew them on a scroll, make a wall hanging, put them in a bowl, whatever. Buy a sketchbook and put them in. You don't have to have a book like I have to make the small samples here, all your small embroideries. That was the short version. My name is Lisbeth, and I'm the host for this challenge, and I'm a Danish mixed media artist who likes to do all sorts of things. So look at the playlist and find other things that perhaps interest you. My English is what it is because I'm Danish, but hopefully you can see and understand what I'm saying. Is there anyone more else I want to say before I get started with the prompts for this week 50? Yeah, so we're nearly done, and this year here has flown away, I think. But of course, if you have to do something every week, time goes quick. But I left you last week here with this little piece here where my spread here was blue, in blue colors, and I can see now I have only one signature in my book here now, and I have another signature I have pulled out already, and it is so chunky, so I know I will have to make another cover, but for now I'm using this. And those of you who have been with me for a while know I like my spread to look nice together, so that is why they often are in the same color scheme. Here they are blue, and here they are turquoise, and here they are red, black and white, and here they are ochre colors, and so on. But I also, now I've done two blue things, and perhaps I also think a little about, I have my favorite colors, and I could have done all the book in rusty colors, but I know many of you like other colors, so I try to variate it. But of course, I can't say you shall use that color. You can, of course, do what you want to do, but try to stick to the rules. And then you can always develop and do, if you want to do more than one, you're more than welcome to that. But now this is where I have to put my piece in for today. So I will take that away. Sorry for my arm. And then I will find the materials and tell you what we are going to do today. So the Dogma rules for this week is, first of all, you need to find, first rule, a piece of fabric in a light creamy color for background. And I don't know yet if I will use it or I don't will use it. That depends on the next things, but have one piece ready if I'm going that way. And the background piece of fabric, just something that you would consider not it's no sheet or something. Not, it doesn't have to be a nice looking fabric. It has to be a fabric that's nice to stitch into. And then you need to go in your scrap box and find a lot of small strips or selvedges or whatever we can call them. I often, when I tear, I save these strips here, so I had a lot of them. If you don't have a lot of them, you must tear some small strips of your different fabrics. And I have chosen the earth tone color, rust dyed, eco dyed leftovers, neutrals, quite neutral colors. And for that we are going to do a weaving on this substrate. And of course I will show you in a little. And when this is done, we will have to trace a circle like we always used to. And then we're going to do the stem stitch in a spiral all over this weaved surface we have been making. And I have chosen this color to sew my stem stitch spiral with, and it is up to you what color you want to use. I think it depends a little on what kinds of strips you have, but you can use whatever color you want to sew your stem stitch spiral. Okay, that was the 3 rules here for this week. So let us get started. So now we are ready. I am working on a piece of felt, so that's why I can easily stick my small needles in here and they will sit there. But if you ain't working and can do it like that, you perhaps can find another surface you can do the same, where you can stitch needle in. But you can also give your pieces a dab of glue at the top here when you start, instead of using needles. So there. I have done this to see if I could or if I could do it. So I have my strips lined up, and I have tried several times to get it to look nice. So you can play with it before you start sewing your pieces down. So I find it doesn't matter that much if you're going a little over there, but put your needle in as close to the top as you can. There, so I just pushed my needle in, or else you can use a glue stick. And I will do this all the way over here. And normally we are very happy about overlapping, but here you don't, you really don't have to, you must not overlap. Let me say it that way so it's more clear. There. And the next one, place it there. There. And the next one. There. These are quite nice, these small pins. Also when you're using them when you're sewing, because you don't get scratched so easily like when you're using the long pins. There. But I will continue this all the way over here. And maybe I had my fabric the other way around when I did it last time, because I didn't have that much white there. But let me see here. Yeah, I will be in. So I would just let this hang under there, that white thing there, and I can remove this one there, like that, a pin in that. So this is what is called the warp. your thread is going that way if you're weaving. That is called the warp. And now we are doing the weft, and that is going this way. So the easiest thing, oh, there's a lot of thread hanging on here, is to take every second piece of strips and turn them over like this, and then put your, oh, there are more thread here, away with that, and lie that in there. And again you can put a needle in here, and you can put a needle in there. If you had a piece of styrofoam, the white things, you know, for packaging or so, you can use that, or some of the underlayer you can stand on when you're standing on a concrete floor, or yeah, use your imagination and use things you can stick into, or glue it with your glue stick. That is also an option. Then we'll take the opposite ones and put them up, swing them back over here. There. Take my next strip, place it here. I put a needle in here and here, and place them back, there, and then opposite again. There. Take my next piece. Perhaps I should have ironed these. So I'm just give them a little here on my table. And put a needle in. I have done a lot of this with the paper strips, and I think I have I can put a link on that too. And when I work in my big book on Monday mornings, mixed beaded pieces, I have a week where I did this with paper. I can link that too, so you can look at that. Again, I will swip these up and do the same. So I will finish this up, and then I can show it what it looks like. So done with the weaving, and my stripes are about 1 to 1.5 centimeters. But of course, depending on how big or small your piece is, you can do whatever you will with the size. Sorry. In the hindsight, I think this piece is perhaps too dark, but I will let it be as it is. And looking at the color, I think it's okay. I think I can see it. Perhaps not so much there on this one. Yeah, do I want to pick it up and change it? No, I don't mind that. The other thing is, here you will have to decide which measure, which size your circle is. So when you put it down, you can see all the there. It will not be a whole square, not there, but try to center it so you can see so much of it as you can. So that is that. So now I will have to put needles in like I have done here, so I can pick it up and invisible base it down. So the way I do that is I just put my fingers in here and put a needle in every strip. And some of the strips are not so nice because they are iron and other stuff in my fabric. But it's me who is in charge, so I will decide that is going to be this way. And take that up here and again go in here. There. I can cut some of this off so it isn't so irritating. There, away with them. So I will do it all the way around with, you can see here, with the needles. Okay. Pick that up there and just go in there. Pick that up and go all through all 3 layers, the back piece and the 2 strips crossing over. And now it will be a little tricky here. I can take this one there. You have to fiddle a little around there. But I will do all that and then I am ready for stitching. No, I think I will get some lunch first. If you have heard something, it's my stomach. So all the needles are in. Yeah, I will just hurry up and do that before I go and get some lunch, and then I will cut it clean here so they aren't in the way when I start stitching. And here also. That was a lot of needles. This is a nice way to use some of all your scraps here. And we all have so many scraps. So, and you don't have, just tear up some strips and try this way of making your own fabric, you can see. So now it is ready for stitching. I think I will just invisible base the on the 4 sides as far out as I think I can go. And I will take I think I will just take this one. So I think it looks quite nice. I'm satisfied with it. I have started and I have already sewed down the 3 edges here, but I can show you what I'm doing. I am coming up through all 3 layers, the background fabric and the 2 weave strips. Yeah, now I started from the wrong side. Crazy woman. So it is just ordinary machine sewing cotton. I am up here, so I will just go a couple of threads back, come up, and normally I come up a centimeter ahead of me, but because they are so small strips, I see if I can do this at least 2 times on every strip. Come up, go a couple of threads back, and then go in here. Yeah, the invisible basting I have shown you a ton of times, so most of you probably could get it, but it's a nice way to adhere several layers of fabric. Come up, go a couple of threads back and come up a little ahead of you and remove that needle there and come up again through all 3 layers and go down, come up a little ahead, and here you probably can see a little because I have a nearly white thread and this is a very dark fabric. So, but I don't mind. Go in here, come up in the next 3 layers, go down. So I will do this to the end of the line here. And then we can start the real stitching, or the real embroidery. Not stitching, this is also stitching, but away with that. And you can see it lies quite nice. If you think it is too loose, you can always give it a couple of stitches some places. So it is based down, and I've given it 3 or 4 other or 5 other places, so it won't run anywhere. So now I will have to center this circle here. I will trace after so it looks as nice as possible. And I can see I will be seeing more here of this strip than this strip here. But so it must be. So I will just carefully trace here inside. This is really tricky because the overlaps are different, so and there are 2 dark places, but I think I can see it. It is easy to see here in the light area. There. So I think I will start here. And the stem stitch, it's a stitch I always have hated to sew. Yeah, hate is perhaps a strong word, but I never liked sewing it, and I have never done it very much. And I can't remember if we have done it here in some of the other weeks. I don't think so. But I can show you a picture here from my book, how you do it. Normally when I sew, I have done it differently, but looking at this book, this is the right way to do it. So it's the way I would do it. So you come up and you go a little, and you go a little far away and come up in between the stitch you will make. And that is all you do every time. So it's not because it's difficult. And I know it's a nice stitch to make if you make curvy lines, but yeah, we will see how it goes. So I will just come up here in the circumference here, go a little ahead and come up in the middle like that. That is the first stitch. And I know it's about having the thread the same place every time. So I have my place, and holy Moses, I'm babbling, but I have my thread to the right side. So again, I will go up a little here and come up here, there, go up there and up in the nearly in the hole there. If you can hit the hole, that is fine, but if you can't, I don't think it matters very much. I have a friend, she loves to sew this stitch, I think it is because I feel I'm going that way, and normally I'm going that way, but yeah, and follow the line. There are a lot of different fabrics to stitch into. Some are very smooth, and some of them are not so nice to stitch into. But so it must be when you choose all your snips and snoots and leftovers. So I will go nearly all the way around. But before I come in there, I will stop a little before. Well, I can go all the way around and go in. That I can also do that. That is perhaps easier. So there will be a lot of sewing here, depending on how big space you do between the rounds in your spiral. So this will give me an indication of how diligent, or if you jump over the fence the easy way and only do a couple of rounds. But you decide. That's up to you. This is really not nice to stitch into this here. And you could also say some of my snips are the holes from when the fabric was weaved, and there are the edges here where I have torn edges, and some of them are straight, but I think it gives a nice look to my piece. But I will continue all the way around, and I can show it to you. And I think color-wise, it's nice color to these fabrics I have chosen. But you can choose any color you like, depending on the colors of your strips. This is a real leftover project. I will sew this up and show it to you. So this was the first round, and you just end up in the stitch where you come up when you started the round, and I have just come up a random place here. So I will go a little further out here. So I will just and now you have to decide how far out you will go. Yeah, that is perhaps not the prettiest. Stitch there. And you decide how wide, how much space you will have through your rounds. But I think I will go for this here, and maybe I would hate myself for taking such a small distance between there, because I will end up doing a lot of stitching. But what the heck, then I will be practicing this stitch I don't like very much. And if you're not like me, want to eyeball, of course you can draw lines, but I think I will see if I can do it just by eyeballing it. Perhaps I'm taking a little too long stitches for this thin thread, but yeah, it is what it is. So for now I will just keep going round and round and round. And for that you don't need to see me do all this sewing. Just wait until you are going to do it yourself. But perhaps you like this stitch. I know many who likes this stitch. I just don't. But sometimes it is good to challenge yourself in more than one way. And I like the look of it. It is always a little awkward to sit and stitch under a camera. I always had my fabric on my thigh, not here on the table. Yeah, but you can see what I'm trying to do to go spiral right here. But I will show you some steps during my travel here on this spiral. Oh, I've been stitching a little more, and I think you can see it begins to look like a spiral. It's a little wonky, but what the heck, wonky is my middle name. So, and that is when I just eyeball it instead of drawing a line. But I think I like it. So I will continue and see how it will end up looking. So I don't know if I will ever be very fond of this stitch. It won't be my favorite stitch, I know that, but yeah, it gives a nice line, I think, and it is an easy stitch to make curves with. So if I should say something nice about this stitch. So done with sewing my spiral, and all in all I am satisfied. I like the colors and I like the idea. I could have done the circle, the spiral a little more neater, perhaps if I had traced the line, but I like it the way it is. So I have written the Dogma rules in my book, so I will just take again my double-sided tape. And if you have so many pages in your book so you don't have anything on the back side, you can sew the back side of your page. You of course can sew your little sample in your book, but I can't. I have something on both sides of my page, so I don't want stitches on going through to the other side. But yeah, so it is, and I hope this will. Yeah. Lucky me. And yeah, I will come a little up here, and this book is so, perhaps I can, let me see if I can do it another way. Yeah, that was better. So I will just center it the best I can, and I can see all the frayed and torn edges there. I don't mind that. If you don't like that, you could cut it totally straight with your rotary cutter, but then you will have to sew a little further in with the invisible basting. Or you could also have cut it out here and placed it on this fabric here, but I think that was too much. So I like it like this, but there are options. There are always options. So it would sit there until next week, and perhaps I can use this fabric next week, since I didn't use it here. We will see if I will do that. It could look nice, whatever I fancy to do there. And it is on full purpose. I didn't go all in here to the middle, because I like this yellow thing sits there in the middle. And yeah, I think if I should say something about my stitching, perhaps I take too long stitches, and that is why there could be such a thing like that there. But yeah, we all get better the more we do a specific stitch, and I haven't done much of this stitching here, this stem stitch. Oh, is there anything else I want to say here? No, I don't think so. I will take some close-ups and round the video up. This was a nice way to use some of my scraps and my cut-offs and my selvedges. So I hope you have liked this week 50, and I'm hoping to see a lot of lovely spirals and weavings in the Dogma rule group. It is also so nice, it is always so nice to see what you all are doing, and that gives me great pleasure to see. And also those of you who are not on Facebook, who are doing it on Instagram, I also follow you there. So please tag me there or use the hashtag so I can see what you're doing. But else I will just say I hope you have learned some tips and tricks and got some new ideas you can use. And if you have, please give my video a thumbs up and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. I would appreciate it very much. And else I will only say take care and be creative, and the most important thing, please be nice to each other. That's all we can do in these crazy times right now. So I will see you again for week 51 next Thursday, and yeah, 2 more weeks, and then I will perhaps next week or next week I think I will tell you if I have a plan for the future. I will think about it and come up with, at least I will tell you what I'm thinking about perhaps doing next year, but we will see. So I will only say bye bye for now. Farvel.